everyone, welcome back to the second to last installment of these Canva how to make an infographic videos. Well, we got to learn about typography, we learned about how to create lines, we learned how to add little elements, and we also learned how to add data charts. So now we need to learn how to add pictures for real life examples. And in case you don't have a graphic that Canva offers for free, what are you going to do? So I'm going to make sure this doesn't open, and we're going to open Chrome. So what you can do is use a part into Canva all the way to the left where it says upload. These uploads allow you to add real life pictures or images to your graphic. So let's say we want a toothbrush, right? And we can't find a toothbrush in the elements section. You say toothbrush. Oh no, there's not a good toothbrush. That is free. All these are pro. What are you going to do? Well, I researched tooth PNG. Now, it's a type of file that usually has a transparent background, or you can just hit transparent background. It's important that you see these like check marks because it means that this image does not have a background. What happens is if you choose an image that does have a background on Canva, let's say for example, this has a background, the white part is going to come with your image. And if your background isn't white, it's going to mess up the flow and the color palette of your image. However, if you find an image like the toothbrush, this one, you hit PNG Wave. There's a lot of PNG websites that have images that don't have backgrounds. Be careful that you don't download a virus. But I know that PNG Wave and PNG Tree and a few other ones are saved. So you hit toothbrush, you hit download to the size. Don't hit this. This is how you get a background, a virus, and hit download original PNG. Now I clicked that a few times, so I already have that down here. So then in Canva, you're just gonna hit upload an image or video. You look up PNG. You look up PNG, and here is the picture of the toothbrush. You hit open. And this little wave, this little color will come up here, and then it'll be gone. So that's how you know that your toothbrush vector or PNG file has uploaded. Now you just hold your mouse and drag. There you go. See, it doesn't have a background, so when I have it on this blue gradient background, it's going to look really nice once I resize it, and it's going to fit where it says brush twice daily to symbolize helpful tips to brush your teeth daily. Now, this is a pretty dark black, and I want to make sure it's a little bit lighter gray. See if I can change the tone of it just a little bit so that way it can flow better with the colors on my color palette. You have different effects, filter, adjustments, crops, and flips so that way you can edit these pictures. Adjustments. Adjustments is a really good way to change the brightness, contrast, and overall look of your image. For dark PNG files without background, so black ones, if you hit brightness and go all the way to the top, you can actually brighten it a little bit. So instead of being black, it's gray. Then you can also sometimes change the saturation and it changes it, or the contrast and it also changes it depending on the picture. But the tint is really where it's helpful. So if you look, it goes from a gray to a green to more of a dark blue gray to a purple gray. Similarly here, it's a green slash yellow gray to an orange gray to a red gray. And this is how you can somewhat make sure it blends with your data and with your infographic. So I'm going to make this like a blue color, so that way that can blend. I'm going to resize it, remember hold and drag. And I'm going to put it right here where it says brush daily and make sure that it is roughly centered with all the other data. So now I have a picture of a toothbrush. So that way you can see brush daily and I didn't have to pay for the toothbrush elements here. Let's say, for example, I also want to talk about having a picture with children. I talk about children ages 2 to 5. So instead of just having a little element of a child here, I can have something that looks a little bit more professional by looking up a free picture of children or their hands. Now, I would prefer that, I think it's suggested that you use hands or something other than a child's face, just that way it's more appealing. But I chose a picture of someone's hands and just clicked free download. There are multiple websites you can get free pictures of whatever you need. Pixels is one that I chose, and I just typed in children. I saw this black and white picture and I saw these hands to help represent children from various ages, brushing your teeth, all of that in a subconscious way. So now I'm going to similarly hit download, free download. Downloads on here, it says grayscale photo. Then go back here and hit uploads. Upload an image or video. Look up my image, so it said gray. So I'm just gonna look up gray. Grayscale photo. Double click and it's automatically going to upload. Now, like I told you earlier, as this is uploading, that you can have different effects to your images. One that I used for this specific infographic is the crop option. So this is definitely way too big for your infographic. However, if you scale it, hold and drag, move, hold and drag, make sure it's nice and centered, and hit crop, it can actually, you can hold and drag the parts of the image that you want to keep and the parts of the image that you don't want to keep. So I just want a little sliver of my image to have the hands, just a little bit. So that way you can see the pinkies, that way you can feel connected, understand children are very important, and hit done. Now you have this part of the image and you just see the little pinkies. You hit the arrow, hold and drag on one side to make it expand this way, and similarly on the other side, hold and drag so that way it goes the other way. So that is the full size of your image. Personally, I like to make it just a little bit wider so that it fully covers and it goes like this. So now you can have it here and you have two images that weren't already in the Canva database. Lastly, I would just suggest, because we have a lot of information here, you have graphs, you have pictures, and you want to help the eye go down this information and not be too overwhelmed. So over here is called transparency, and you can personally make any graphic or element a little bit thinner so that way it's not as bold and bright. So I just made it 71 transparency. Now it blends in more with the background and it's not as bright and it's easier and more appealing for users to see. Next, in our last video, I'm going to talk about layout, color palettes, and how to export our final infographic. I'm going to add a little bit more elements so that way this can be a full-fledged infographic, and then you guys are good to go. Thank you.